I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box cutter make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking bitches ain't my homegirls now. Start stacking, dabbled in crack, gun packing. Nickname Medina, made the scenes, took my Ninas. From gym class to in-glass, pass off for global. The only nigga with a mobile. Can't you see like total? Getting larger in waist and taste. Ain't no telling where this felon is heading. Just in case, keep a shell at the tip of your melon. Clear the space. Your brain was a terrible thing to waste. Realizing to master enterprise and I ain't have to be in school by 10. I then began to encounter with my counterparts of how to burn the block apart. Break it down into sections. Drugs by these selections. Some use pipes, others use injections. Syringe sold separately. Frank the deputy, quick to grab my Smith & Wesson like my dick was missing. To protect my position, my corner, my layer. While we out here, say the hustler's prayer. If the game shakes me or breaks me, I hope it makes me a better man. Take a better stand, put money in my mom's hand. Get my daughter this college plan, so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid, only make moves when your heart's in it. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. Motherfucker. 88. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. Money in my mom's hand. Get my daughter this college plan, so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid, only make moves when you. A nigga never been as broke as me. I like that. When I was young, I had 2 pair of leaves. Besides that, the pinstripes and the gray. The one I wore on Mondays and Wednesdays. While niggas flirt, I'm sewing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You wanna see the inside? I see you later. Here come the drama. Oh, that's that nigga with the fake. Wow, why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place, play your position. Here come my intuition. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watch it, and hoes clock it. Here comes respect. His crew's your crew, or they might be next. Look at they man, big man, they never try, so we roll with them. Stole with them, I mean loyalty. Niggas bought me milks at lunch. The milks with chocolate, the cookies, butter crunch, 80 lunch. I had enough heart for most of them, long as I got stuff for most of them soft. Even when I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box cutter make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking bitches at my home glass, pass off for global. The only nigga with a mobile. Can't you see like total? Getting larger in waist and taste. Ain't no telling where this felon is heading. Just in case, keep a shell at the tip of your space. Your brain was a terrible thing to waste. counter with my counterpart to how to burn the block apart. Break it down into sections. Drugs by these selections. Some use pipes, others use injections. Syringe sold separately. Frank the deputy, quick to grab my Smith and Wesson like my dick was missing. To protect my position, my corner, my layer. While we out here, say the hustler's prayer. If the game shakes me or breaks me, I hope it makes me a better man. Take a better stand. Put money in my mom's hand. Get my daughter this college plan so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid. Only make moves when your heart's in it. And live the way. Realizing to master enterprise and I ain't have to be in school by town intersections. Drugs by these selections. Some use pipes, others use injections. Syringe sold separately. Frank the deputy, quick to grab my Smith and Wesson like my dick was missing. To protect my position, my corner, my layer. While we out here, say the hustler's prayer. If the game shakes me or breaks me, I hope it makes me a better man. Take a better stand.
Alrighty, guys. Alright. Sorry if you hear my squeaky arm. What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Thank you guys for being here, as always, man. And, yeah, man, how the hell is everybody doing, bro? Man, we have, not really too much of a crazy week to talk about. Dynamite was Dynamite. Some interesting-ish stuff happened on Collision. SmackDown, nothing really happened on, and then Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was kind of boring tonight. It was Triple H boring, but it was still boring. It was still boring. Like I said, it was Triple H boring, so I'll deal with Triple H boring over Vince McMahon boring any day of the week. But nonetheless, it was still nonetheless, it was still pretty boring. So yeah, man. Other than that, the week of wrestling wasn't too crazy, man, to say the least. So, guess we go ahead and hop right into the intro, man, not waste any more of your guys' time. We did have a little difficulties, but thankfully it happened before we got on, so that's obviously why the start screen was a little long. But anyways, what is going on, guys? We're back with yet again another edition of the Notorious Hills podcast, man, and this is another edition of Unscripted. And with that, man, if this is your first time watching, you guys do not know how the show works. Every Monday after Monday Night Raw, we are on here with Notorious Unscripted, and every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news, man. If you guys did miss this past Friday's edition of the news, Ari Emanuel personally removes Vince McMahon from WWE Creative. His personal decision made by none other than Ari Emanuel himself, the CEO of the company. And what else? Golly. Oh, Randy Orton. Randy Orton, man, he is expected to be brought back to the WWE very, very soon, man. So we talked about all that good stuff. That was on episode 184 of the news, man. Yeah, man, pretty nice news regarding Randy Orton and Ari Emanuel, man. So it was a very good episode of the news, man. So if you guys did miss that, you guys can now watch that on all platforms. That is Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right at Notorious Hills Podcast merchandise. You guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video and in either mine or Sergey's social media pages, man. With that, you have all 8 of these beautiful designs. You have the base logo design. You have the Riddler-inspired IWC's Best Kept Secret design. You have the Notorious World Order, that design comes in three different variations of it. You got the Chicago flag design, which you see on your screen, the classic black and white, and the Wolfpack red. You got the baseball logo inspired Grand Slam design. You got the scratch logo and the only community that matters, man. And with that, you have all 8 of these beautiful designs, and our newest piece of merch, the skull design, the double skull design, the Halloween inspired design, man. The other side, man. The other side is what their shirt is called, man. You have the Notorious Heels Podcast Halloween merch, the other side, man. So if you guys have not got a chance to pick this up, this is available for you guys on all on bonfire.com. Again, link is at the top of the description of this very video to find all of these beautiful pieces of merchandise and more than the ones you've seen. So with that, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at the Notorious Heels Podcast, I am Johnny Mayhem, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. It's going good. Just been chill out, man. Been chill out. Been pretty chill, man. Been pretty chill. Just waiting for November, man. Can't wait for that, man. But other than that, man, I've been good, man. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. The family's good. How is everybody doing in the chat, man? Logan, Silent Prime, Johnny's dad. What's up? How's everyone doing, man? And in the replay too, how everyone's doing. And what about you, bro? How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm good, bro. I'm good. The last 24 hours have been fucking torture on my brain.
Oh, that.
Yes, they've been absolute torture. We just finished like I'm not gonna spoil anything, so just fair warning. But we just finished the just got done with the circus mission in Spider-Man, and fucking Christ, it took every fiber of my being not to keep going, because it's getting good, ladies and gentlemen. I knew this was going to be game of the year. It's got to be fucking game of the year. I'm not even, according to my friends that have finished the game, I'm not even knocking on the door yet of getting into the real nitty-gritty of the story, but Jesus Christ, it is fucking fantastic so far. So I'm pumped to keep playing, but oh God, it's been rough. Other than that, bro, I'm all right. Could be better, but that's all right. That's what we work on. So, but yeah, man, I'm good, bro. I'm good. So I'm good, as Durante always asks, man. I'm good. Family's good. And what about you, Durante? Logan, Bell, Spooky Professor, or in other words, my boy Clint, Pops. How the hell is that? Silent Lupus. My bad. Silent Lupus. How the hell are you guys, man? And thank you guys for being here as always, bro. So yeah, man. Golly. Oh, yes. So thank you guys for all the people that are here and all the people that are watching on the replay. The replay mafia, as our boy JB likes to say, man. So, alrighty, man. Well, kind of seems to be the common theme. We live in a weird world where I haven't really said Raw was too boring in a while. I haven't really said that in a really long time. The past couple weeks, I've been coming out here and saying that Raw was pretty decent. But for a change this week, Raw was a little boring. I can't lie. But I'll tell you what though, they set up a nice week next week. They set up a really nice week.
They did.
Yeah, for next week, man. So, this week on AEW Dynamite, man, this week we had matches. We had, of course, we had a bunch of senseless returns again. We had our boy Sting make his massive announcement. And we had a sit-down interview with Christian Cage, Nick Wayne and his mom. And then we had the Rated R rebuttal. Okay. Yeah, so that's what we had on AEW Dynamite, man. So the show opened up with Jay White and Penta El Zero Miedo. This is just a regular one-on-one match. Pretty good. Jay White won, and then yeah, that was pretty much it for that one. Got any thoughts?
It was a match that I will say, like, who faced each other? Yeah, the what is the fucking title's name? International title didn't open the show, so that's nice, man. That's always nice.
Very true.
God, I
Very
cannot
true.
remember what the fuck that title was called ever.
Oh, I'm still calling it the fucking All Atlantic Championship. I like it. Whatever. So yeah, I don't know. They did this with Jay White last week. They put him against Hangman, so I'm thinking they're just putting him in exhibition matches to build him up for the pay-per-view, man. So yeah, that was that, and let me see. Was there an MJF promo after this? I think there might have been. No. Okay, so it wasn't an MJF pro. Okay, I wasn't too sure if MJF came out in this, but they got on the mic afterwards, and Juice talked about how he was gonna win, the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal and face MJF for the Diamond Ring, while Switchblade is still carrying around his championship. So yeah, that was that. Yeah, that was the open of the show. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, that was that.
Interesting. Setting stuff up for the future, I guess.
Hikaru Shida faces, I don't know, one of these fucking Joshis. I can't remember all their fucking names. Ryu. No, it's not Ryu. I think that was Okada's sister. Emi Sakura. Emi Sakura. I'm thinking of fucking Okada's sister from 2021 Revolution. Golly. Hikaru Shida is in a title eliminator match against Emi Sakura, and she wins. So, yeah, that was that. Yeah, what an ace of the division. Man.
Oh, dude.
We'll probably talk about the name change itself on Friday, but I'll tell you what, the day we review a TNA show, that'll be the day the fucking sky falls. Because
literally, just what universe are we in if that ever happens?
I couldn't tell you, bro. The day that happens, I don't know what they had to have done or who they had to have signed, but I don't even know if Chicago Phil could do the trick for that one. Because, oh, fuck.
Oh, God, no. Fuck, no. I ain't watching for nobody. If they ever give me to watch that shit, I swear to God.
Seriously. Maybe if you get, like, the fucking bloodline to go down there. But other than that, not happening. Anyways.
Literally.
Wardlow. Yep. That's right. Wardlow. This week, I guess, we got something a little different. So, Wardlow was in a squash match. Again, shocker. Wardlow was in a squash match against the Hollywood Hunk, Ryan Nemeth. Wardlow comes out, I shit you not, gives Ryan Nemeth one powerbomb, and the ref calls off the match. What are you back for? He goes like this, shows his wrist tape, and fucking Tony Schiavone is, oh my God, that says MJF. That says MJF. Yeah, so he's, I don't know, that it was little touches like that. Maybe if he said it once, but it was the constant repeating, like a little fucking child that just walked down the fucking the toy aisle at Walmart and seen fucking Walmart Supreme CM Punk, just fucking flipping out. I don't know. That says MJF. Yes, I can see his wrist tape, Mr. Shivani.
Said like fucking, literally said it like 3 fucking times. You get it? We got it the first.
To be the main event of the whatever that show is. But for
I could definitely see that.
Yeah, but to address Logan's comment, he says some people are saying that Wardlow versus MJF should be the main event of Full Gear. You got to be a fucking moron. I mean, you really got to be a fucking idiot.
God, no.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to be a fucking blithering idiot to want to see some shit like that. Wardlow's just not interesting enough yet. I hope we get him there, but we're not off to a great start, man. He lost his look. He lost his momentum. He lost everything. He has nothing else to lose. Nothing.
No, exactly. Yeah, they had a chance and they failed again. I'm just waiting for him to leave this place. I really am. And I think he is too.
Seriously, bro. They keep cutting in and out. I mean, well, good on my end.
Same.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I guess let me know if it keeps happening because I'm all good on my end, so I'm not sure.
Same.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, Wardlow is he's lost everything. Essentially with Wardlow, you have to start from scratch again, which is what they're doing. And it's gonna you built a 3-year story with him from 2019 to 2022. You built a story with Wardlow. You started from scratch in 2019 when you brought him into the company, and you told a great story. You told a really fucking good story with him being MJF's bodyguard. And once it was time to put your foot on the gas pedal, you needed to keep it down. And they didn't keep it down at all. That is one of Tony Khan's worst fumbles ever. That is probably his worst fumble ever. The fumble of Wardlow. I don't know how you fumbled that. I genuinely have no idea. You essentially, Tony Khan let his fetish for Goldberg get in the way of making a new star. Guy wanted War Pigs. That didn't happen.
Exactly.
So instead of getting him some other theme song that sounded similar to that, or maybe in the same genre of music, you give him a generic ass bootleg Goldberg theme song. Fuck that up. Not to mention his TNT title run was the conservative booking that everybody's been talking about. The AEW refusing to put him against a main eventer. That's what Wardlow's title reign was, and it amounted to nothing. And Tony Khan has gotten exactly what he deserved in terms of fan interest with Wardlow, because he deserves every bit of people not caring about this guy. Now, who I feel bad for is the guy actually playing the character. I feel bad for Wardlow because when the guy was off television, he was talking about he was depressed ever since he's been off television. I wonder why. I wonder fucking why. And it's not his fault at all, and it's quite bullshit on what happened with him. And then, you fast forward into or at the end of it was either at the end of last year or beginning of this year, you decide to cut the guy's fucking hair off. You decide to drastically change up his look. Now he's out there looking like he's wearing a fucking toupee on his head. And he looks like shit. He looks like shit, man. and they fucking ruined everything about him. And then you bring him back earlier this year, and instead of the boxer style singlets, you change it to a trunk style singlet. Changed up his look again. I mean, it was literally everything about this guy. It was everything about this guy. They fucked up tremendously. Decided to give him the TNT title back, and they expected that was going to do something. And it didn't. It didn't at all. He lost the TNT title again, and all of his runs sucked with the championship. And it's almost kind of funny because this is the guy that Tony Khan wanted to go ahead and start marketing as the savior of the TNT Championship before he even had the fucking title. Now, I don't know if he had the worst reign. I think there's the Sammy Guevaras of the world, the Scorpio Skies of the world that might have something to say about that. But they sucked. They fucking sucked, to say the very least. He's definitely in that breath of one of the more awful TNT champions, and that's what you get. That's exactly what you get for christening somebody, and I fucking said it when he started calling himself that on probably Unscripted. On this very show, I said, do not call him the savior of the TNT title before he had a fucking title run, just in case his run sucks. And look at that. We're like, what, 3 runs in, and all of them suck. They're memorable, but for all the wrong reasons. Everybody remembers them as being a massive letdown and one of the biggest AEW fumbles in history.
Exactly. It really was, man. It really was. And it's sad to see. And it's sad to see where he is now, because I don't care about anything Wardlow. One bit. Every time he comes out, I feel nothing. Anytime he's in the ring, I feel nothing. And with this potential MJF storyline, sadly, I feel nothing, man. And it shouldn't be this way, but it is because of Tony Khan.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. It's absolutely his fault. I don't know. I don't know. At this point, I got to a point with Wardlow. I got to a point with Wardlow where, down the days for him to go to WWE, because this is ridiculous. Again, they're having to start from scratch with this guy that's been on the roster for 4 years, and it should have never been like this. It should have never been like this. You should have catapulted him when you had the chance, and you should have kept your fucking foot on the gas pedal. And around this time, Wardlow would be facing MJF. In a feud that people actually really care about, and a feud where Wardlow in a world where Wardlow is actually the guy that people want to see take the title from MJF, but unfortunately we're just not in that fucking world anymore. And the ship has sailed away, to say the least, bro. But yeah, Wardlow, I don't know, man. I don't know. Fumbled him hard.
Oh, 100% crazy. Probably the biggest fumble, from at least from how big he was to how low it is in AEW history.
100%.
I would probably say.
I would probably have to agree with that statement. I think Wardlow is definitely one of the worst. One of the worst fumbles. In my opinion, he probably is the worst fumble to date, in AEW history. So after this, we got Powerhouse Hobbs coming out there explaining why he hates Jericho, and apparently he wanted to meet Chris Jericho when he was a kid, and Chris Jericho I guess told his grandma to shut up, old lady, or something like that, and he told Powerhouse Hobbs, I don't know, he was an asshole to him at a meet and greet, and that's why Powerhouse Hobbs hates him. So they wanted to add some story behind that, which I can appreciate. But then Kyle Fletcher comes out there and tries getting in Don Callis' face, And if Will Ospreay's in this Don Callis family, I have no fucking idea why they're making Kyle Fletcher an enemy out of this group, unless they're going to split up the United Empire, or if they're going to take Will out of this group, which you got to take Will Ospreay out of this fucking group, man. I'm sorry. You cannot add him in this group. Please, put him back. Put him back with Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis, and I don't understand this whole little Kyle Fletcher sub-story at all. It makes no sense.
No, exactly. Like I don't really like where it went. I don't like. I just don't think it's necessary, man. And I hope it ends with Will Ospreay being separated from the Don Callis family.
Absolutely. So Kyle Fletcher wanted a one-on-one match with Kenny Omega, I guess, to prove himself to Don Callis, which he ended up losing. So that was that. Oh, here we go, man. AEW. AEW, man. We got a Dynamite return. The Murder Hawk Monster is back. Speaking of guys that come back and I don't give a shit. Lance Archer comes out with the same old fucking entrance where he's fucking beating people up on the way to the ring. This shit sucks. Give him production value. Said this shit for years. And you maybe would have had something out of this guy if you would have gave... He's another guy. Could you fucking imagine what WWE would do with Lance Archer? This guy would be one of the biggest fucking attractions in their company within a couple months.
He'd be going absolutely nuts, man. And instead, he's just bland, boring Lance Archer in AEW. That's all he is. I don't care about him in the slightest. Never really did in AEW.
Yeah, when he first came in, I cared about him then. I thought he was cool as shit with Jake the Snake. You know, when he was coming out with his fucking, with his headband, with his fucking bandanas on and his denim jacket. He was pretty cool, man. He was pretty cool. He just looked like this fucking badass fucking biker that was fucking coming for Cody Rhodes, and the shit was sick as fuck. And then he lost at Double or Nothing, and never
He
to
lost
be.
again.
Yep. And that's why he is Lance Loser. He comes back in a squash match. That's 2 squash matches we've seen for the night. And he beats up some jobber. And it actually, when he first came to AEW, he had a look that was really cool. Now he comes out with like baggy gold tights. The fuck is that? Or like, also his one big long braid. Love that shit. Now his whole head's braided. Dude, the aesthetic is just fucking ruined. I don't know. I don't know why he's still with this company. This man would be a fucking dog in WWE. But instead he's sticking around, hanging out with these fucking losers that book him like shit, man. This show fucking sucks. And this fucking guy fucking sucks, man. I'm sorry.
No, he really fucking does, dude. Like, he's a great fucking talent.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
like
yeah.
shit. This company does not know how to fucking use big men. They do. They used to. Now they don't know how to do it at all. It's just boring ass squash matches. Get this man in AEW. Get this man under Triple H. Please.
I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. Seriously, a lot of wasted potential. Dude, when he first came in and he was with Jake the Snake, everybody knows how Jake the Snake talks, bro. He's got that raspy ass voice, and then he shows up with this big fucking biker monster with him. That shit looks sick. He was sick as fuck his first couple months in AEW, and then they fed him away because Tony Khan doesn't know what he has ever with anybody. And unless your name is MJF or Darby Allin, 9 times out of 10, you are wasted fucking potential under Tony Khan. That's just how it fucking is, bro.
Exactly.
Okay. So. Sting.
Right. Damn.
Our boy Sting, man. Speaking of
Right.
non-wasted potential in AEW, actually this is about as cool as it can get for a last career run in
It really
wrestling
is.
as an entirety. Sting, man, he comes out for his massive announcement, and massive is an understatement because he is setting us up for something very sad. He went out there and he talked about how he's been doing this ever since the 80s. He talked about a bunch of people that helped him throughout his career. He mentioned Dusty Rhodes. He mentioned Ric Flair. He mentioned Hulk Hogan. He mentioned I think that might have been the only three. But he mentioned,
Hulk
oh,
Hogan.
oh my God.
Dude, when he said Hulk Hogan, not only did the crowd just fucking boo the fuck out of that, but they fucking pan to a fucking to a black guy just sitting there in the crowd. That shit was goated, man. They do not like Hulk Hogan, and I
Dude.
love that. That is hilarious.
I know why they don't like Hogan though, and I don't
Mm,
agree with why they don't like Hogan. You see,
mm,
why they don't like Hogan is because Hogan thinks that they think he's coming for the main event. That
exactly, it's true. That's why they didn't
yeah,
like him, man.
exactly.
No other reason
Yeah,
whatsoever.
Hogan can't think of any other reason why people don't like him. The only reason people hate him is because the current talent thinks he's coming for the main event spot. Wonderful.
Mr. Hogan, that's not the reason, my friend. Because he's coming to the spot for a point, man. To a point.
Exactly. That's what he should have told him, man. He should have told him, look, I'm only coming for the spot. I'm coming for the main event spot to a point.
Only to a point, man.
So, Sting, yes. So, everybody else got a huge pop.
It's a kid.
Dusty got a huge pop. Rick got a huge pop. As soon as he said fucking Hogan, man, everybody just boo. And like Sir K said, bro, they just panned to a fucking black guy booing. Why? Like, bro, what are we doing?
The production truck knew what they were doing right there.
They knew
Rare.
exactly what they were doing. So even Sting himself said, "I hear ya." Sting says,
Yeah.
Sting
No,
says,
that's his ass.
yeah, Sting said, as soon as he heard the boos for Hogan, he says, "I hear ya," but he transcended wrestling, which is true. As much as we all fucking hate it, as much, even before all the, I was talking about this with one of my other buddies the other day, bro. But like, we were talking about how much Hogan is a very underrated or overrated talent. We were talking about how he's a very overrated talent, and right place, right time for Hogan for sure. He would never exist in any other era, but I mean, man did transcend wrestling. You cannot take that away from him. So, anyways, Sting goes on to talk about how he's been doing this for, what do you say, 4 decades. He's been doing this for 4 decades now, and he said the one thing that was true about Sting, he said it in his retirement, as he said it with quotations. He said his retirement. One thing he said in his retirement back in 2015 was that one thing that's for sure about Sting is that nothing is for sure about Sting. And then he goes on to say, Revolution 2021 was my very first match with AEW, and Revolution 2024 will be my last match. And then he says, and if there's one thing for sure about Sting, it's that Revolution 2024 is for sure.
Damn.
First of all, that was hard as fuck.
You're showing nuts.
Second of all, that makes me incredibly sad because goddamn, I'm gonna fucking miss Sting, bro. I'll tell you what, Sir K, Silent Lupus, our boy Flex, Revolution 2024. Tears may be shed in the living room because goddamn, that is gonna be sad. And we talked a little bit about it on Friday, but nobody deserves it more than Sting. Nobody deserves to say when and where their career will end. Sting absolutely deserves this, and I'm so glad fans have shown him nothing but gratitude since he's been back. So it's been a ride, bro. It's been a ride, and it's gonna be sad. But I would love to see him stick around AEW, man. I said it on Twitter last Wednesday. AEW could use some structure. They could use a general manager, or maybe Tony Khan actually really gives him a high up position. Maybe that happens, bro, because I could see Sting sitting around. I could see Sting sticking around AEW. Even though it'll be his last match, I definitely think we will see more of Sting. And yeah, man. But it's gonna be sad, but it's been a fucking ride, man. It's been a ride for sure.
Definitely, man. It's gonna be really fucking sad. Tears might be shed that night, very well, and it's gonna suck to see it come, man. And it was a great run. It really was, and I can't can't wait, but the opposite. I don't want it to come to an end, man. I really don't. But it's gonna be awesome in its own sour way when it happens.
Yes, and AEW also. They're making a colossal mistake if you do not put Sting as a part of the Revolution crate for All Elite crate. Maybe like a tribute, like a 40 or whatever, how many years he's been in the business. I think he's been in the business since 84. So this will be 40 years. By the time we get to Revolution, it'll be 40 years since he's been in the wrestling business, and I think they should do some on the All Elite crate. I think they should do some sort of 40-year anniversary Sting. But yes, it definitely needs to be Sting versus Darby Allin for sure, and it is going to be a sad night, and I hope they give him the main event. In fact, they need to give him the main event. There's no other way you end the show than with Steve Borden going out there one last time.
Exactly, especially if you have all those other fucking pay-per-views. Easily put that shit in the main event, and like Logan said, it's gotta be Darby. It's gotta be.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Bro, if this man say, dude, if he gets hurt, then
it's over with anyway, so let's go crazy.
This man say, I don't even want to know what that man is going to try to do, considering the fact that fucking that this man a couple years ago at Revolution literally did a fucking Chris Benoit diving headbutt onto a table. This man is psychotic, so I don't even want to know. But anyways, we said it on Friday. Please, everybody, please, for me, please enjoy the fuck out of these last 4 months, because it's going to be sad when we get there. It's going to be fucking sad. So enjoy them, please.
Oh yeah, we will, man. I hope everybody does.
Definitely, man, definitely. So we get this sit down with Nick Wayne, his mom, and his mom. He's sitting there like the snot-nosed punk kid that he is. He's sitting there with this blank stare on his face, and his mom's telling him that this isn't him, and this and that. This isn't him, and I don't know how you could betray Darby. He's like your brother. blah, blah, blah. Nick Wayne is not having any of this shit. He's literally just fucking just standing there or just sitting there. He gets pissed and he starts yelling. He starts yelling at his mom. He tells her she was a horrible mother. And, well, before he says that, Darby, he said she was a horrible mother. She slaps him. Wait, no, I'm an idiot. Before all that, Christian Cage walks up, huge pop. He grabs Nick Wayne on his shoulder and he says, "Come on, son." Or no, he says, "Come on, let's go home, son. We've had enough." Nick stands up, his mom stands up, then he calls her a horrible mother. She slaps him. Fucking Christian goes, "Do not abuse him." And he walks him out of the room. And as he's leaving, Christian tells Nick Wayne's mom, "You should have answered the phone." And they go out, they walk out of the room. His mom starts breaking down, but then we hear Darby whooping their ass on the outside of the door, and he brings them onto the ramp area. He brings them onto the ramp area, and he's still beating up Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus comes out. And they start whooping Darby's ass, and fucking who comes just slowly walking up behind Christian and Luchasaurus is Sting, and he just starts casually just whooping ass. He's just fucking walking out there like it's nobody's business. He goes to put Christian Cage in the Scorpion Deathlock, and Luchasaurus pulls him out of the ring as Christian leaves, holding Nick Wayne like the fantastic father that he is, and holding up his TNT championship. Dude,
Shit was great, man. Speaking of Nick Wayne, man, Darby knocked his fucking tooth out, man. That shit was brutal. Fucking Shivani was marking out that he knocked his fucking tooth out. Great segment, man. Loved it all around. I love the way he's been acting, man. Little snot-nosed punk kid. And Christian, man. He is. And Christian, man, it's just he's the fucking GOAT, man. He's the GOAT. Let's go home, son. And dude, it was the "don't abuse him" line that killed it for me, bro. That shit killed me. I loved it. Great segment as always, bro. I can't wait to see this story more and more, man. This man Christian, probably the best thing about AEW, I would say.
100%, bro. This man is fucking goated. Don't abuse him. That shit killed me. That shit absolutely killed me. On top of this, man, earlier in the night we did get a rated R rebuttal where Edge was just talking about. He was pretty much just talking about his upbringing with Christian Cage. He was talking about how, like I said, he was talking about his upbringing with Christian, and he was talking about how he thinks that he's one of the most underrated. He is the most underrated superstar ever in the business, which is a great point. That was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it. And then he just kind of talked about how he still thinks that Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus is going to turn on them, man. But otherwise, it was a really, really good segment. And for anybody that's unaware, I don't know how you're unaware, but if you are unaware, it did give a pretty good backstory on just Edge and Christian and their upbringing, man. So very nice.
Definitely, man. I like the history that he talked about. I like the elements of him always sticking up for Christian, and how it evolved over the years. I like it, man. I like it, and I really like where it's going, man. I really do.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I have not talked about this for the past month that it's been going on, and it needs to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been a feud on Rampage, and it is absolutely, Didn't even finish Dynamite. Juice Robinson won the fucking Battle Royal, and he's going to face MJF next week for the Dynamite Diamond ring.
Right.
Okay. How was
Fucking
that?
fun. But if you fucking did it for 4 years, but it's 3 or 4 that he's, retained the ring. I think it's 4. Done it for 4 years,
Yeah,
and it's
4.
fucking Juice that beats him for it. Fucking kill me.
Yeah, I certainly fucking hope not. I certainly hope not, but we'll have to wait and see. But then I don't know. This all depends on what I think MJF is staying, so I think he'll go ahead and
I think he
beat
is.
Juice for it. So
I think he is.
hopefully there's nothing to worry about there. There's been a feud that's been going on Rampage, and I absolutely need to sound off on AEW for it because Santana and Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, what the fuck are we doing? So you're telling me you put a Santana and Ortiz feud that would have easily caught everybody by storm on Dynamite. This would have been the shit that they've been putting on Rampage is shit that will absolutely grab everyone's attention on Dynamite. Are you fucking kidding me, Tony? Are you kidding me? You decide to keep this off of Dynamite, and what about your other show? What about your other fucking show that's supposed to have big stuff happening on it? Yeah, Collision. Where the fuck is Santana and Ortiz? These guys have went so deep into their history with really entertaining segments, and we're getting a Santana and Ortiz match next week on Rampage. Couldn't have saved that for Full Gear? You really couldn't have saved that for Full Gear? Are you fucking serious, Tony? This is the kind of shit that pisses me off, bro.
It really is, man. You got such great talent there with a phenomenal story. And listen, I don't give a fuck that he's trying to give views to Rampage, or if what did one person on Twitter said to Logan in one of his tweets about it. It's like, that's why you should just watch Rampage so you could actually get the story. No, I'm not watching Rampage. I don't care what you put on it. I don't care. It's a useless show. Don't put good shit on a useless show. It's that fucking simple. Put that shit on Dynamite or Collision. Mm-hmm.
Somebody said that to Logan?
I think I remember that on fucking Twitter. I think someone replied to him something like that, where he should just watch Collision then. No, Rampage. No, I'm not fucking watching Rampage. The show is pointless.
Yeah,
put good shit on the point show. I don't. Tape shows suck. Especially fucking Rampage. Rampage is the dud of all duds, man, and they should just let it go. And I'm not gonna watch it. I don't care what they put on there. I don't care who they put on there. They need to put this storyline in a place that matters.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. No, that's not the point. That's not, so let me get this straight. So, if WWE puts on a fucking banger-ass storyline on a main event, nobody's watching main event. Rampage is their main event. So, with that logic, when Ricochet and Mustafa Ali were putting on what was said to be bangers on main event, so you guys just want to start watching main event now? That garbage ass show. I'm sorry, nobody's watching that shit. And absolutely no fucking body is watching Rampage. The show sucks. It's a bunch of fucking matches. And when you do decide to put a story on there, it's one of your better stories on a show that nobody watches. You gotta understand, that's not going to get people to watch the show. Once you establish a show as a main event type show, you are fucked with that show. And that is exactly what they did with AEW Rampage. And what you're doing, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And in that sense, what you're doing is saying, okay, well, yeah, we don't really care about this too much. We're not getting new viewers because of this feud. We're just simply not. So we're just gonna opt to have nobody see it. Would you put a CM Punk feud on Collision or on Rampage? No, you wouldn't.
No, they don't do it to anybody else.
You do not do it to anybody else. Exactly. That is exactly the fucking point in case. Tony Khan should be locked up for putting this Santana and Ortiz feud on fucking Rampage. This is actually a crime. This is a crime what is going on AEW television right now. Complete and utter bullshit, to say the very fucking least, man. I mean, seriously.
Literally, man. Literally.
So, yeah, that was that. And then really the only thing that happened on Collision was a dream match that already happened already. A couple years ago on SmackDown. It was Andrade versus Bryan. Pretty good match. That was that. And Malachi Black returned.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fucking cool. And other than that, man, that was it for Collision this week.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. I see apparently, in the Malachi Black kayfabe, his eye looks to be healing, so that's cool. It's a little progression there. I like it. Can't wait to see how it goes, man. Hope they give him a couple singles matches.
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
That'd be really nice.
All right, man. WWE. Alrighty, man. SmackDown. Damn. Really nothing happened on SmackDown other than Logan Paul coming back, challenging Rey Mysterio, and then Nick Aldis kicked Adam Pearce and Jey Uso out of the arena. That was about it.
It was interesting, but when we talk about it on Friday, apparently it's not important, so not much, I guess, happened.
Yeah, he gave this really cool line of "Let the games begin," but I don't think there will be any Raw versus SmackDown games beginning, which I'm okay with that.
No, not exactly. But why are you teasing it, bro? If it ain't gonna happen,
Yeah,
don't do that.
yeah, beat me, bro. Oh yeah, and Bianca Belair comes back, so that was that.
Nice.
All right, man. Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Well, before the
one.
show started, they made Akira Tozawa the junior member of the Alpha Academy. I kind of just like Gable, Otis, and Maxine.
Same. I really don't care for this Tozawa joke stuff. I really don't.
Me neither. Whatever. So the show opens up with the Judgment Day. Well, not JD. Finn and Damian Priest. They came out there and they talked about how they were the new tag team champions. Finn mocked Damian Priest, doing his voice. All rise for the Judgment Day. Fucking Damian Priest was laughing. They talked about how they were once again the tag team champions, and then Cody Rhodes came out, and he told Damian Priest, he said, if you thought that low blowing me was the final shot of this battle, then you are sadly mistaken. Damian Priest then poked fun at Cody's story. He told Cody, he says, what? He says, I hear about you trying to finish your story But it seems like the moral of this story is that you just fail. Cody then got really pissed, and he told Damian and Finn that he could give people a Crown Jewel preview right now. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention. Before they went into most of this, he challenged Damian Priest to Crown Jewel, and it got accepted. So Cody said he wanted to give the fans a preview of Crown Jewel. Damian Priest said that sounds like a great idea. Fuck. Damian Priest says it sounds like Damian Priest says it sounds like a great idea. As the rest of the Judgment Day came out, Jey Uso then ran up and hit Dominic as Cody started fighting the other two. Jey would then hop in to help him as they would all be going at it. JD would come and hit Cody, and then this would lead to Damian Priest putting Cody's foot in a chair and then smacking the chair with another steel chair, and now Cody's ankle is hurt. They didn't say it was broken, but as soon as that happened, I said, oh my fucking God, here we go again with these godforsaken Cody Rhodes injuries.
They just can't stop with that, man. Dude had a legitimate injury that made him look even crazier, and I said, you know what? I like that. Let's keep doing that exact same thing.
He's a fighter.
He's a fighter, man. Like, holy fuck. How many fucking things have this man broken at this point? Gladly they didn't say it was broken, but who knows what next week, man. He'll be coming out in a fucking foot cast. In a wheelchair. Or who fucking knows, man. Come on, man. More injury stuff with Cody. Can't think of anything else.
Seriously. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the New Day, beat the Alpha Academy. So I guess they're really making Gable go through the ringer, man. They're really making Chad Gable go through the ringer to find his way back to Gunther. So yeah, man. Yes, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods defeat Chad Gable and Otis. So that was that. Rhea Ripley finds Seth backstage, and Seth says, Seth tells her that I'm not your boy Drew McIntyre. I don't know why you're looking for me. Or he said something like, I think you're looking for your boy Drew McIntyre, and Rhea says no, I was looking for you, and Seth tells her, well, I figured, being that Drew McIntyre doesn't have style or gold.
Damn. Got his ass.
So Rhea then tells Seth that she gives him an offer to join the Judgment Day, because if he's going to be the champ around here, then he's going to need some help. He's going to need some help. Rollins declines, and that was that, man. So we got Rhea offering Seth a spot in the Judgment Day. So pretty interesting.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. And the fact that he declined, man, you're going to see even more of Judgment Day at the main event of Raw, baby. You know what that means.
Yeah. Becky Lynch beat Indy Hartwell in a match. It was kind of, I mean, it was an okay match. The crowd was just deader than a motherfucker for it. And then after this, we get a contract signing with the Fatal 5-Way. With a Fatal 5-Way Women's Championship match for Crown Jewel. Rhea Ripley comes out there and says, I got a lot of things I need to get off my chest. Okay.
Oh, dude, I'm waiting for one of the days one of these motherfuckers fucking sits crisscross somewhere. Dude, I'm waiting for it, dude. One of them's gonna fucking do it.
I could see it. I could absolutely see it. So Nia Jax then grabs the mic. Crowd fucking boos the shit out of her. And she starts going around the ring telling all the competitors, Rhea wants me to squash you, and then it's going to be me, and then she's going to leave it to me and her. And she's going around the ring telling every single one of these ladies this, and she's saying it in the most fucking annoying tone possible. She's fucking sucks, man. Why'd you bring her back? I mean, seriously, one of the worst fucking re-signings you could have possibly done. How you fire Dolph Ziggler, but you got room for Nia Jax's boring, god-awful, fucking unsafe fucking ass boggles my mind. So,
she is one of the worst acts ever in the business, and she's constantly being brought back. I don't understand.
oh, she's
It's
absolutely
like fucking,
atrocious.
it's horrible. It's like bringing up that fucking shitty school lunch every day. You just pick it. Why are you picking the trash, bro? Pick out of the actual food.
Bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. Nia Jax, it really just goes to show it's not about what you know, it's who you know. Because I swear to God, if she was not related to Dwayne Johnson, she would be axed.
Oh,
and she should be axed because she fucking sucks.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. She would have been axed long, long ago.
Seriously, bro. So, Tommaso Ciampa, or not Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano takes on Giovanni Vinci. You know, this match is actually really cool. Not only was it a pretty good match, but man, I remember in 2018, January, I remember a match to Gargano's build-up for TakeOver Philadelphia where it was Johnny Gargano versus Fabian Eichner. And I remember that being one of my favorite NXT TV matches of that time period. I just remember that being a really fucking good match, and man, it was awesome. So it was cool to see these guys on the main roster doing their thing, man. Marcel Barthel was trying to help Fabian win the match, and Tommaso Ciampa came out and chased them away wearing his new DIY shirt. And he helped Johnny Gargano win. He hit the one final beat, and that was it. And then he went in there and did the old DIY hug, where they were both sitting on the ground, and Ciampa hugged Gargano, man. So, well, I think Ciampa was on his knee, but same energy. Yeah, pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. So that was that, and it was a decent match for what it was.
Definitely, man. I always love seeing my DIY stuff, man. I can't wait for them to do more as a tag team, man. I really can't wait.
Yeah, that DIY shirt might be a get, bro. I can't even lie to you.
It really might be.
So, Logan Paul came out again. He called out Dominic Mysterio so they could talk shit about Rey Mysterio. So they were talking about the adversity that they had to go through growing up. Dominic had to grow up without a father, and he's still the champion of a whole continent. And Logan was a kid from Cleveland, Ohio, and he had all the adversity, even though he grew up rich. He had all the adversity he had all the adversity to go through as a child. And by the way, have you seen Logan and Jake Paul's childhood house?
Oh, dude, it's fucking massive.
Oh, a lot of adversity. Lot of adversity they had to go through. A lot of it.
So much adversity, man. I mean,
yeah, a lot.
Like, fuck. Oh,
yeah. Couldn't imagine what it was like to be them. Growing up in a gated community, man, I heard those are pretty rough. I heard those are pretty rough to grow up in, man. So, a lot of adversity. So he's a kid from Cleveland who had all the adversity in the world, but he overcame it. He beat the adversity, and God, I'm gonna cry. This So emotional. He had all the adversity in the world, and he overcame it and made all his dreams come true. He then poked fun at Samantha Irvin, called her in the ring because he wanted to apologize for the stuff at SummerSlam. But then when she got in the ring, she wanted her to announce him as the new United States champion, Logan Paul. She wouldn't do it. And then Zesty Rick came out there and started beating up Logan and Dominic, and he took both of them out, and that was that. So, yeah.
Interesting, man. Interesting. Funny in its own sad way. Mr.
Definitely.
Adversary over there.
Oh, bro. The amount of adversity that man went through, man. Fucking heartbreaking. Heartbreaking adversity. Heartbreaking adversity for Logan Paul. So, the next match was Bronson Reed versus Akira Tozawa. It was Bronson Reed versus Akira Tozawa, and this was a squash match. Bronson Reed came so close to winning the IC title last week, and this was kind of just I guess getting him back on track type thing. So he faced Akira Tozawa here. He beat Akira Tozawa. I love Gunther's reign, but I will admit, once he does get done with the championship, it's really going to open it up for guys like Bronson Reed who have nothing to do, unfortunately, and they will actually be able to have something to win, which I think will be really nice. Not saying I'm rushing to end Gunther's reign or anything, but it's kind of a thing with Roman too. I love Roman Reigns. He's probably my favorite WWE champion of all time, at least that I've seen in my lifetime. So my personal, WWE champion of all time. I absolutely adore this reign from the Tribal Chief, but it's just kind of common knowledge. Once he loses that title, it's really going to open up a lot of spots for a lot of guys that have kind of had their careers get put on pause for the past couple years while we go through this historic reign. And historic is an understatement, but it's something that is still just a truth of the situation. So Bronson Reed. Man. So Bronson Reed picks up the victory against Tozawa. Piper Niven and Chelsea Green defeat Natalya, and Tegan got hurt, so she had to find a mystery partner, which ended up being Nikki Cross. I think it's a storyline injury, but
my God.
Yeah, seriously. So she ended up getting Nikki Cross, and Nikki just stood on the apron, all deranged the whole match. And then there was a spot backstage where Nikki walked past Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce just looked at her like, what the fuck? But I would be deranged too if one of my stable members was a bald asshole. And I would be pretty deranged too if my sanity plans got canceled. So nobody could.
Exactly. I'd be going insane too. Someone went insane on Twitter, man. They all do it differently. Everyone's got their own way of coping with tragedy, man. I guess some people just go on Twitter and be dickheads, man. But other than that, interesting, man. Really don't know what they're building to here, since we know it's going to be nothing sanity related. So I wonder what you could build there. Not much, but interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, unless maybe you're going to get like at least Killian Dane back to be with her or something.
That would be nice. I would like that.
God, if WWE just wouldn't have fumbled in 2018. Maybe that bald asshole would be off Twitter. What a time.
He probably would have been too. That's crazy.
Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. This one was really, really good, man. Sami Zayn wrestled a really good match. Drew McIntyre wrestled a really good match. And Rhea came out, and right as Drew was getting a little bit of momentum, Rhea came out, distracted Drew. Sammy went to put him in a roll-up. He got up. Sammy hit him with an exploder suplex, and Right as he was about to go for the haluva kick, Rhea distracted him. Sammy kind of glanced over at her for 1 second too long, and he turned around into a Claymore, and Drew McIntyre stole the victory against Sami Zayn. So this is going to be interesting to see where this goes, being that Drew talked all that shit, but he needed Rhea Ripley to help him defeat Sami Zayn. So pretty nice story going here, and I really like the story of Sammy trying to prove that he is a main event level superstar, man. So I love it.
I love it, definitely, man. I love putting Sami Zayn up there and those type of things, man. And I love what they did here. Interesting how they went about it with Drew. I wonder what they're setting up with this whole Rhea Ripley thing. And I'm curious to see how it goes, man. But it's been really interesting so far.
Definitely, bro. Definitely, man. So yeah, and in the main event we had Jey Uso versus Damian Priest. Via Judgment Day. Jey Uso did end up losing the match via distractions, and right as they were about to do to him the same thing they did to Cody, Cody comes hobbling out there, and him and I think him and Jay ended up both getting their asses kicked to end the show. So yeah, that was that. But I'll tell you what, bro, for next week on Monday Night Raw, the Halloween edition of Raw, which will also just so happen to be the Halloween edition of Notorious Unscripted. We have Ricochet, Zesty Rick versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio. We have Candice LeRae versus Xia Li. Oh yeah, there was a spot backstage where I guess Xia Li's pissed that Becky Lynch isn't giving her a match, even though Becky Lynch told her she would give her a match, but Xia Li said she'll do it on her time. It's like the same thing with Nakamura. You can't want a fucking rematch, but then when the champion goes to give it to you, you say, "Oh, I'll do it on my time," or you say, "No." What?
What do you mean, no? Alright, you don't fucking get one. Fuck you.
And go fucking kick rocks then. Now you're not getting shit. Man. Candice LeRae versus Xia Li. Seth freaking Rollins versus JD McDonough. And the fucking hook for next week, bro. Imperium versus DIY.
Yeah, I like the sound of that, man.
The
I really do.
The return of DIY is back, bro. I am fucking stoked. I am stoked for the return of DIY. But yeah, that was Monday Night Raw, man. Like I said, it was kind of a little boring, man. It was kind of a little boring. I can't lie. It was Triple H boring, but it was boring nonetheless. So it was what it was. It didn't really move me too much, to be honest, bro. But yeah, it was what it was, and that was about it, man. So yeah, unfortunately, this episode was kind of a little weak. The week of wrestling was a little weak, in general, man. So yeah. But yeah, man, so that's everything we got, man. That's everything we got for the week of wrestling, bro. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, looks like that is going to do it for this edition of Notorious Unscripted. Thank you guys so much for joining us, man. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, ladies and gentlemen. It has been always a pleasure for my Johnny Mayhem.
And I, Sir K.
And that is going to do it for this edition of the Notorious Heels podcast. Another great edition of Notorious Unscripted. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. We love you guys. Thank you guys. We love you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys on Friday with the news.
Peace.
I used to get deals on the bitch. Now I throw shields on the dick. to stop me from that HIV shit. And niggas know they soft like a Twinkie fillin', playing the villain, prepare for this rap killing. Biggie Smalls is the illest. Your style is played out like Arnold, and that's what you talking about, Willis. The thrill is gone, the black Frank White is here to excite, throw dick to dice. Bitches are like I'm brainless, guns are like I'm stainless steel. I want the fucking fortune like the wheel. I squeeze cats till my clips is empty, don't tempt me. You don't want the fuck
Here I am, I'll be damned if this ain't some shit. Time to spread about the lyrics over harmony grit. It's the new killer death trap. Yes, I'm a jet black ninja. Coming where you rest at, surrender. Step inside the ring, use the #1 contender. Looking cold booty like your pussy in December. Nigga, stop, bitch.